All right. So, hey, welcome to the Sam's podcast. I'm Sam, a founding director and marketing expert. My recent startup is a middleware where I'm focusing on building a lean team as well as driving businesses for AI driven solutions. In this podcast, I'm talking about a lot of marketing leaders, sales, and founders to share their experiences they learn from their past experience, and also we'll talk about how they are building and growing their personal as well as professional brand. In today's episode, my guest is Tiffany is a founder and CM of Third Plus Taylor, which is a marketing agency, and prominently it's working on B2B SaaS companies like fintech, medtech, tech, blockchain, Web 2.3 and many more. So she's mostly working on this domain as she has a strong background in the marketing strategy, data analytics, team leadership, as well as demand generation. She used to generate a strong market or demand by delivering a stories, which is definitely not a cup of tea for a lot of people. And prior to this, she was a VP of marketing at Validity and executive director of demand generation at Vericast. So, without saying more, welcome to the podcast, Tiffany. And Tiffany is going to talk about why the rush to adopt AI in marketing could backfire as marketing campaign pump out generic content that erodes the authenticity and fails to build trust. That is one of my favorite topic too. So definitely I'll have to, discuss more into it. So welcome to the podcast, Tiffany.
Thank you so much for
Let's,
having me. I'm happy
let's,
to be here today.
thank you. Let's get started with, can you just say a bit about yourself, your journey? I know,
Yes,
I told about very small things about you, but I think it's really great to know from you that what you've been so
absolutely.
far. Yeah.
Yes. So I'll dig in. I am Tiffany White, the founder and CEO of Third and Taylor Agency. I have been in the marketing world for over 15 years. And just as Sam
Mm-hmm.
said, it has been primarily in the B2B marketing space. So I've done everything from help small businesses to billion-dollar brands reach their
Mm-hmm.
revenue goals. Over the years, I've seen it all, right? So before social media marketing was even a thing, all the way to, booming budgets and focus on brands to people trying to do all the shiny objects just to get a few new leads. But during this time, I felt it was very important to develop frameworks that would constantly deliver predictable results and predictable revenue growth. And so, with
Mm-hmm.
that, that's really been my focus on helping B2B tech companies today be able to reach their goals. So, there's been lots of changes in the marketing world. Sam, as you introduced, AI is one of
Yeah,
them. I'm looking forward to digging into talking about kind of like AI in marketing today.
that's great. That's really great because I listening this a lot around market that people are adopting a lot AI, and the content creation is almost like God. I can say in heaven like now, because people are actually generating a lot of contents, but it's very difficult to know which content works best. Sometimes
Absolutely.
people say about, hey, like AI generated content works best. Some people are saying human written content works best, but we don't know about it, right? So I know, like I've seen some of research which show that mix of thing always work best if you're having like maybe you're taking ideas and then writing yourself and putting your own experiences, own thought, and just adding this part. It definitely can help. Great. So, as you're talking about AI, right? So, how do you think that AI in marketing can works, and what do you think that the impact of AI in B2B marketing and how it works from your point of
So, this is a great but loaded question for a couple of different reasons. So, I remember just a year, maybe not even a full year ago, marketers were just starting to tinker around with AI. At least, your common marketer that's working at a job, right? They're just starting to really tinker around with AI in their roles. But as
view?
it became more and more prevalent, the fear started rising of, oh my God, AI is going to take our jobs. And at first I said, guys, like, no, it can't just totally replace us. And this is where it gets really tricky is I do still believe that AI cannot totally replace marketers. However, you have CEOs and founders who are looking to save money and they're saying AI can do it. And
Yeah.
so I have seen jobs and roles starting to be downsized, especially when it comes to content creation, right? Previously, a company might have 3 writers writing ebooks and white papers and blogs, and now it's, like, let's just let AI do it. The challenge with that is it damages authenticity. AI is only as good as what the prompter gives it. And so
Hmm.
leaving AI and marketing in the hands of just anybody who's going to go type something in, is it
Hmm.
keeping the brand voice? Is it sounding authentic? Is it differentiating from what everybody else has already published and wrote on the internet? And so that's where I believe some of the challenges come from with using AI marketing. But on the other
Hmm.
hand of that, it can be very valuable. When AI is used to be more human led, but AI enhanced, it still
Hmm.
allows them to maybe use AI as a partner for brainstorming, generate some outlines. But I really do still believe in the human giving that input. You need the human review, you need the human touch for that authenticity. And I think that we're just going to find that more and more. Right now, a lot of readers, we think, oh, they don't know it's AI, but people are
Hmm.
picking up on it. And if your customers and prospects can start identifying that your content is just AI created, you become less of a reliable source. You're not the place that they want to go to first when they're looking
Hmm.
for information and resources.
Yeah, understood. I think that's where like people are, because for me, for founders, like what's important is the time, right? And the resources. So maintain what they're doing is like just thinking, hey, like maybe like I can just put some promotes and, just create a one article, but that's
Yeah,
not useful, right? You can definitely get some ideas or maybe brainstorm some ideas and topics. But if you really wanted to write a very human touch article, then definitely it required a lot of efforts from people, right? I
absolutely.
understand completely. So let's not just be into writing, but AI is everywhere. So I even see a lot of time now, like where we can see the some of inbound SDR, right? Or maybe
Oh,
outbound SDR. I am be like passionate about it to learn more about it. But yes, even I tried myself also. Some of companies who already working in the space where what they're doing is like the part start from brainstorming or maybe finding leads or maybe a data which is a prospect, I can say, or maybe ICPs, right? So once they find ICPs, then they, put together the message and they say that, hey, we are super personalize the message, right? The AI can super personalize the message, but still I'm not 100% convinced on it, whether it is really super personalized or it's something that, maybe take some ideas from different sources and put
yes.
together. And then they reach out to a people or different aspect, right? So my questions here is like, of course, people are using AI a lot. Uh, I think human interaction and human approach is very important each and every level, whether it is doing sales SDR, whether it is working on content creation, whether it is working on forecasting. It's like most of time it's working in that side, right? So I have very interesting questions now, like, hey, how this the over reliance on algorithm, which definitely erode authenticity at the time when B2B buyers are, demanding a transparency, because a
Mhm.
lot of time I even when I work with a lot of customers, when I work with a lot of writers, I always needed like in terms of transparency, in terms of like, hey, like whatever content that you people created, is
Mhm.
it 100% GPT free or not? Is it like
Yes,
zero GPT? That's what I used to have. Like, can you just pass and just send me a report like zero GPT report, right?
yes.
So, what do you think about it? Like how this algorithm will work, and if you could just have more about like how this B2B buyers are demanding transparencies.
Sam, I think I lost you.
Happen maybe like there is some disturbance happen. Am I audible?
No worries. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So
I can hear you too. Your
yeah, yeah.
video's a little blurry, but I can still hear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like there's some, I think, network issues. So perfect. Yeah, please go ahead. So my last questions was around like how over reliance on algorithm erodes authenticity at the very moment the B2B buyers are demanding transparency.
So there's a couple of things when it comes to transparency and AI that I like to touch on. So there's one component of when marketers are using AI, are we being transparent with the people who are going to consume that content or information that a portion of it might have been AI generated? I'm running into potential clients or current clients that want to do complete AI campaigns. I see ads all day
Oh
on
wow.
Instagram saying create use an AI avatar to create a campaign about products. When it comes to transparency, like this AI avatar did not use the product. It's not a real person, right? And so you're not being honest with your potential customers. And so I'm a big believer in transparency in marketing, whether it's internally letting people know used AI to generate something, and then also some disclaimer to your customers that you may have been using AI. When it comes to AI and algorithms and content creation, there's a couple of things to think about there as well. So when you have, the algorithm of simply showing up, let's call it in the search results, right? And right now, AI is people aren't even almost clicking to URLs and websites or scrolling because the AI overview is taking over. It's the main real estate in a Google search right now. And so with that,
Hmm.
people don't have to search. When it
Correct.
comes to algorithms, though, that is now where you're creating content to make sure you do show up in those AI
Hmm.
search results. So, how are
Hmm.
you structuring your blog content? Are you making sure you're being seen on Reddit so that you do make it into those AI search overviews? And so, the algorithm is something that we're definitely needing to work right now to make sure you do still get visibility because of, AI search results. So it's inevitable. I think it's something that we can't get around.
Right. Got it. I think that's where like people are doing it. Great. So, like AI is all about tools, right? It's nothing but it's like kind of agents or tools, right? So a lot of people are using different tools for different tasks, right? Let's say if somebody wanted to perform a writing, so they are using maybe some different tools. If somebody wanted to just summarize the summary, whole article or maybe whole campaign, so they are using different. Even if somebody really wanted to create content around Facebook campaigns or maybe something around Instagram, right? So they are doing something different. How to integrate these AI tools, but we have to keep in mind that hey, protecting the brand voice as well as the identity. So how we can do that, and do you have anything to share with our audience where how to protect your brand voice at the same time identity, but have to integrate these tools?
Yes. So if you are, let's say, the CEO or the head of marketing for a larger corporation where there's multiple people who are going to be utilizing AI to do different things,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely
Mm-hmm.
have to have some guardrails in place. At previous
Correct.
organizations that I worked with, they actually built their own custom AI tools so that they know all of the information is staying within this platform and the brand voice, the brand guidelines, all of the training was already done by the
Mm-hmm.
company so that that way you're not at risk of one person created something and it sounds this way, somebody else created something and it sounds a different way, and so I really encourage and ask that the leaders of organizations give their teams the solid foundation. So don't just say, hey, you can use AI and send
Mm-hmm.
people off to go do it on their own. Give them the foundation and the guardrails to make them be successful. Now, let's say if you're have your own business or you're a freelance marketer and you're needing to utilize all these tools, I actually say the same thing, but you're doing it for yourself. So myself, when I work with clients, I am
Mm-hmm.
taking that brand voice, I'm taking their brand guidelines, and I am using it to train every single tool that I go into. And so, although I'm using multiple tools, I still have to do that foundational work for every client or every project so that I can maintain consistency. So, it's important to know that just because we have these tools, you still need to use it within a structure so that you're delivering consistent results every time. I'm going to say it 1,000 times that that authenticity comes from maintaining a consistent brand voice as well. You just have to train every tool that you're using on what that looks, sounds, and feels like.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point because uh, the brand authenticity and the this is very important to keep a brand voice. Even like I see that a lot of people are creating their own brand guideline and then they are putting that together. Whether if let's say the Canva, like so a lot of time people are using Canva for the image creation, right?
Yeah,
Or maybe a generic image, but then you have to have your own brand design guideline which can just upload there so we can get a proper like
absolutely.
the proper image, proper the colors combinations, everything should be as what we needed, even like font colors, font size, everything should be
Yeah.
as what we have, right?
And that's important because I've seen examples of, even when you've uploaded the brand voice or sample images, it's not a human and it's not going to be perfect every single time. And
Hmm.
that's where having the human interaction, like the human has to come in at some point to look and
Hmm.
evaluate this isn't right. I've seen it where I'm like, this font looks a little off or this color looks a little bit off. And that's just me spotting. You do still need someone to have that human oversight to make sure that, again, everything that goes out is consistent. This is why I also believe that there should be owners of the AI, for instance. And so when CEOs and founders want to start downsizing their marketing teams and making it, "Oh, well, Tiffany could just kind of do it all because she has AI, but I'm not an expert designer, so it might look great to me, but the actual expert designer would be able to spot that it's not right, it's not on brand. And so you can't just totally eliminate and consolidate human roles unless you've got an expert in every skill set that's now overseeing that AI. So, yeah, absolutely right. You have to have that brand so defined. And someone needs to be able to spot any inconsistencies that may arise.
Yeah, it is something like, human is kind of driver, right? And then the AI is kind of engine where, you can definitely instruct that engine in how to works, but ultimately there should be someone, maybe operator who can just take care of, you know, or maybe just instruct the AI that how it should work. Cool, cool. Great. And why you think that the storytelling, like the human-led storytelling, is still differentiator in the era of content that already been overloaded in the market? So I know, like, I'm definitely big fan of it, that people who write themselves, putting together their own time and just write very nice, engaging story, compelling stories. But then,
Mhm.
like now, like AI is claiming a lot that, hey, like even they can create a better compelling story than the human. So do you agree with that? Or maybe you have something that no, like, human touch story is always have a differentiator than the
Yeah.
what we saw in the marketing.
Yeah, when it comes to storytelling, AI can only be as good as the person who is running it, right? And so if I am going to rely on AI to give me an amazing brand story that's going to bring customers into my brand, to make them love me, to make them want to stay and, evangelize for me. That is something very emotionally driven. And so to rely on AI to do that, I think really poses a challenge. Now, the person who is able to articulate to an AI model, this is what we're trying to convey. This is what we want people to feel. I definitely think you can use AI to get those thoughts and those ideas. But again, now this is where the human intervention comes in and being able to turn it into the cohesive story and interject the pieces of the history of the company to really bring that story together. So when I think about using AI to, for instance, like write a brand story from start to finish, if it's going to be good and it's not going to take a very long time to do it, you would have had to give it so much information. And I end up saying, if you have that much information and that much input to give, could you have just written it yourself? So that's sometimes what I'm thinking about. Like maybe you spent so much time prompting, you probably could have written something really well. So I like to use, again, the AI to really enhance what I'm already doing, um, to really get a good final product.
Yeah, people are doing in different way. Like they are doing the reverse way actually. So they're just putting everything in
Exactly.
one place and then, get the results. And that's something that
Yep.
I worst thing that people are doing it. I think that's actually, I can say, the eliminating the creativity, because what we feel is like, the creativity only happen when you bring together some of your experiences and some of your primary research,
Yeah.
right? And that's only come from the different sources, right? So let's say if I'm talking to you now, like, so definitely it always come from a lot of the experiences, right? It's not something that, hey, AI is, I'm just copy from the AI, the list of questions and just asking you. That is not useful at all. So definitely it works. So as you mentioned in the earlier that you're running the agencies, right? So what is the one piece of advice for the marketers in today's world where the people are overcrowded with the, like, content is overcrowded with the, with a different AI driven approach, right? And a lot of people
Yep.
I can see is still using and they already adopted AI. Mostly, I can say the small kind of contents, especially like, let's say, e-commerce or maybe social media. But
Mm,
but a lot of time people are using the copywriting is pretty good, but people are using it the long form content as well. So, what is the one
yes.
piece of advice that you have for the marketer in today's world?
The marketer speaking to marketers, the one piece of advice that I could have specifically regarding using AI is it's kind of vague, but don't be over reliant on it. You have a skill set that you have had that has gotten you to this point in your career thus far. Don't let it just totally go by the wayside because now you're using AI for everything. People are getting
Hmm.
comfortable, they're turning to AI for every single thought instead of using some of those original thoughts. And so I really want to encourage marketers out there to still start with their own thoughts first. Start with what is the outcome of a piece of content you want to create? What is the outcome of a campaign that you're expecting to drive? Like, start with what you want that end result to be, work backwards, and then use the AI as more of a team member instead of to totally take over and do your work. So it does require you to still keep using your brain, still take, still continue to take action. And it also requires you to know AI. You can't just enter in some prompt and hope magic comes out. It doesn't make bad strategy turn good. So be the expert in your domain. Use AI to supplement and help you get through things faster, but not totally replace the creativity and the strategy in your work.
Yeah, I think that's a good advice. Cool, cool. And I think that's a pretty good discussion. Now, like, I have a second round of wherein I will be having a list of questions that I'm going to ask. So, a
Okay.
person, a company, a business that you most like, maybe you admire with that, like maybe like, or maybe inspire with these people. Is there any person who inspire you most?
Ooh, that is a good one. I actually, if it's a marketing person, you're looking for a marketing person or any person?
Anything. Not just marketing.
Okay.
Let's not talk about marketing. Like we already done a lot.
Marketing, okay. If it's not a marketing person, I love Brene Brown. I've watched her
Then
TED
brand.
Talks,
Okay.
I've read books. I just think she is very inspirational while she's achieving so much as a woman and she's doing business, but staying grounded, helping especially women, but helping us just kind of see beyond the clouds, if that makes sense. I love Brene Brown.
Okay, great. I can see that you read the book a lot. I think, I can see a lot of books
Yes.
in the background. So
Yes.
would you suggest any two books for the marketer, which is like, it's
Yep.
not something that the
So
two book can fulfill everything, but at least like must have book for the marketer.
for a marketer, so Donald Miller, a story brand, I think is important. And that doesn't have to be just for content writers. Even if you're a strategist doing demand gen, Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller, top tier choice. And then I would say, what's another good? The One Page Marketing Plan. So I really love that book
Ah,
as well
yeah,
because it lets marketers, sometimes we get too deep in the weeds and it makes you really streamline your thoughts. So that's a good one as well.
I read that book like multiple times. Great,
Yeah.
great. And how do you celebrate your success?
Wine and steak. I love a I'm I celebrate everything with food and wines. But yeah, anytime we're, like, having big wins, and I love to do it with my team. I'm always, like, loving to celebrate with them. I love to bring people into my successes as well because I don't believe that anybody got to a level of success on their own. So I love to bring in friends, family, colleagues, and we all can celebrate success together.
Amazing, amazing. And great, great. And when you are not at work, what do you do?
Well, I have a very busy house. We've got a family of 6. I've got kids ranging from ages 3 to 18. So my downtime not
Oh,
working is with my family, and I love to travel. It's If I could just travel the world every day, that's what I would do. But yeah, so my downtime, family and traveling.
amazing, amazing. And if somebody wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way to connect with you?
Yes, absolutely. So if you go, my name is very unique. If you look for Tiffany Wahiri, that is Nwahiri, do a Google search, you'll find my LinkedIn. We can connect there. Also, my agency is thirdandtaylor.com. So that is spelled 3RD and Taylor.com. So you can reach me through my agency as well.
What is the meaning of that? Third and Tyler.
Yes. So my father is a third generation, and my mom's maiden name is Taylor. And so I always had that Third and Taylor business name, and the concept was they are the inspiration. I'm at the
Amazing,
intersection of Third and Taylor, and so it's just got some personal meaning to it.
amazing, amazing. Even like my agency name was my grandfather name.
Love it, yeah. It keeps you grounded every time, when things get stressful and like, "Okay, mom and dad, we're working this out," it's
Yeah.
right there in the business name, so I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes people put it like even kids' name as well. But like when you start, maybe at the time if there is no kids, so it's better to start with the
Yeah.
grandfather or
Yep,
and like
absolutely.
as a kids we always favorite of the grandfather, right? So grandma.
Okay, yeah.
Great, great. Thanks Tiffany for your time and really nice talking to you.
You too. Thanks so much, Sam.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.